Hey everyone, it's Ryder from Skip. It's Wednesday, October 20th. Thanks for tuning in. I have a great video for you today. Lots of good information on SBA funding, including EIDL loans and grants, and a couple questions we are seeing a lot of that I'm going to answer today. That'll be helpful for you wherever you are in the EIDL process, including some of your comments and questions that you've left here. Some tips on writing a business plan, because some funding still requires you to write a business plan. And the biggest news of all, we've made available our cash flow analysis calculator to anyone. So if you want to quickly see the cash flow analysis that SBA loan officers do to basically determine your repayment ability, whether you're good for the repayments or not, based on the schedule of liabilities and personal financial statement, you can now do that. If you're impatient and you want to check it out now, go to EIDL2.com. When you sign in on your dashboard, right at the top here, we have the link, calculate your cash flow for EIDL loans and EIDL loan increases, which is the rubric that SBA loan officers use to help aid in their decisions. It's not how they make their final decisions. They have lots of other data points that they can pull in to verify information. This is just one piece to quickly see what your monthly EIDL loan payments will be and how does that compare to your actual monthly cash flow. So a few quick SBA tips, but I want to give a shout out to everyone leaving comments on YouTube here. Boss Lady Mindset Strategist said, praying that my business is included in these approvals this week. Been in recon for nearly a year. Sammy says, what a joke. I'm still waiting for my increase request since April 6th. Not a word so far. Hundreds of calls and emails to the SBA. Congressman Maloney, Senator Schumer, none of them responded. Carter Club here, who's been a big supporter, having a positive mindset here, saying my business will be included in these approvals. Green Forest here saying I can attest they are approving over 500K without a phone call. Thank you, Skip, for putting my anxiety at ease. LLO. I just want to say it again. Whatever situation you're in, if you scan the comments, there's certainly someone in your situation. So if you want some peace of mind, of course, ignore all the spammers, the bots, the impersonators, but lots of great comments. We really love hearing from you. I want to say this off the bat. Most people who are watching this channel, using our app, using our website, are still waiting for some EIDL amount, whether that's the original increase, under 500K, above 500K. So you're likely not alone. I know many of you are frustrated, but hang in there. We do see that things are speeding up. Of course, I don't recommend bombarding the SBA with emails and calls every single day, but it's good to check in to the same email thread that you've already sent in. If you want to check in once a week, especially if you're going through reconsideration or waiting for an increase, it can't hurt to be a little proactive there, but just don't bombard them. Number two, on 500K increases, again, a lot of people have been denied due to lack of repayment ability, but now you can see if that's true or not when you use our cash flow analysis link below, because many folks we've talked to actually have plenty of positive cash flow. There's no doubt they'll be able to pay back the $9,000 per month or the $5,000 per month, whatever the case is. The second thing I want to point out is for people getting approved for increases, number one, in some cases, the SBA is asking for voided checks. It takes a bit longer this time around from approvals, from 500K plus approvals to the money in your bank account. I think the SBA is certainly trying to avoid any fraud, any wrong bank accounts with these larger loan amounts. So they're going to take their time, make sure everything is correct, and they may ask you for a voided check just to make sure they're not wiring it to the wrong bank account. I reported on the Inspector General report over the weekend, scathing, which put a lot of pressure on the SBA. It talked about some of the improvements the SBA has made, but it also talks about some of the continued fraud in both the EIDL and PPP programs and areas where they need to continue to make improvements. So I just want to say that if you have been approved for 500K plus, it may take a little while. Would love to hear from you. If that money has already hit your bank account, drop it in the comments. Shifting gears to EIDL grants, there's still billions of dollars left in the SBA pot of money to give out $10,000 grants, $15,000 grants to small businesses across the country who had some revenue decline, have a certain amount of employees, and live in a low-income area. For the time being, approvals are still being made. If you haven't applied yet, or if you know someone who had a business in 2019, tell them about it. Why? Well, because of the infrastructure bill, which is still pending. Here's a headline from yesterday. What is Congress even doing right now? A brief guide. The big one we're waiting on is the bipartisan infrastructure bill. This passed the Senate on August 11th. When this gets passed, some of that EIDL grant funding will be taken away from the SBA and put towards the infrastructure bill to help pay for it. There's also lots of other important stuff in this bill and in the social policy bill. Here's the holdup. I want to read it to you. The bill has been linked from the get-go to the fiscal year 2022 budget reconciliation bill, aka the Build Back Better legislation. That's the $3.5 trillion that may come down to $2.5 trillion or $2 trillion. We don't really know yet. House progressives threatening to vote against the infrastructure bill unless at least a basic agreement on the reconciliation bill is reached. The big picture here is House centrist extorted that deadline from Pelosi, but progressives refused to budge, leaving Democrats where they've been for months, ready to pass the infrastructure bill if and only if there's at least major progress on reconciliation. Pelosi now has set a revised deadline of October 31st. Of course, she set a deadline last month as well. And then, of course, if we get into November, we're talking about the November and December holidays, and then the can gets kicked until the end of the year. We saw this firsthand last year with the second relief package, which was almost $1 trillion. It was pushed because of the election, then because of the holidays, and then finally voted on and signed into law on December 27th. But bottom line, lawmakers are scrambling to broker an agreement. Biden met with 19 lawmakers yesterday in an unusually busy day of legislative negotiations. He aimed to secure what may be the signature effort of his administration, a multi-trillion-dollar two-bill legislative package that expands social safety net programs and infrastructure spending. One source said a deal could be announced midweek. Midweek is today. Two others said the White House was hoping for an announcement in the coming days, so stay tuned for that. Of course, hit subscribe if you want to get alerted first. Hit subscribe too if you want to get alerted when we announce new features. We have a couple new features besides this cash flow analysis coming out soon. It includes a schedule of liabilities and personal financial statement that's a bit more friendly than what the SBA has put up. So we're going to make these available on our website for you to download, to use, whether you're applying for a loan increase or a reconsideration. The goal is to make it easier and clearer for you to go through the process. Don't forget, we have very limited one-on-one support to give you ongoing personalized funding support. I believe we have availability in a couple days. After that, it will be next week. So if you need help this week or next week, jump on it today. Go to EIDL.me or use the link right at the top of the description. We also put up a post on our blog yesterday, tips before you write your business plan, because a lot of funding and investment and grants still require business plans, whether you're a new business or an established business. So we give a few tips for you to keep in mind if and when you have to write a business plan to get more funding. It's also a good idea to have this in your back pocket because it's a good guide for you internally as a business, to map out your mission, company description, market analysis, not only for external partners or investors or lenders. So that's up on the blog, and Skip app. The app's Hello Skip in the App Store and Google Play. Most importantly, leave your comments below. We love hearing from you. Thanks so much for all of your continued support. Give this video a like. If you're new to our community, consider subscribing, turning on alerts. Most importantly, stay well, stay healthy, and I'll see you tomorrow.